right, really quick, guys. Look up to the screen. So, we already finished first semester. Now let's recap really quick. First semester, we did everything with real numbers, all the operations. We did integers. We did expressions. We went to equations. We went to inequalities. We went to two variable equations, or known as linear equations, right? We did a bunch of stuff with linear equations. And a lot of you loved, especially the last part of the first semester, right? Which was only in one linear equation. Now that we're starting second semester, now we're going to be working on system of linear equation, which is more than one linear equation. So we're going to be working with at least two or three linear equations at once. Damn, let's go. However, that we're starting with this tomorrow, so our objective is not for today is not this one. I'm just showing you what we're going to do tomorrow. So for today, I want to revisit one concept before we move on, which is this one. Our objective for today, I can graph linear equation three different ways. I can graph a linear equation three different ways. Three together. 1, 2, 3. I can graph a linear equation three different ways. So I just want to revisit that before we move on to systems, because once we get into systems, it's going to start getting like really funner. Yes? It's getting funner. That's my word. So, for this example that we're going to do, you're going to need your colored pen. So you need all colors. If you have your colors, get those in front of you. You're going to need an index card for the graphing part. But for right now in your Cornell notes, don't do a Ferrer model. Copy this example, please. Example 1Q. Don't do a Ferrer model. Right there where you write the Ferrer model, write this example down. Example 1Q. It reads, write an equation and graph the line three ways. And information given, 2 points, 3, 2, and 1, 6. Copy that, please. Okay, here we go. Look up to the screen. So right now we're on the Cornell note, yes? All right, so I'm going to make some space here because we're still not at the graphing part. We're in the Cornell notes. All right, so here we go. You wrote example 1Q, and it says write an equation. That's part 1. They want us to write an equation. And what is the second part? They want us to do what? Graph three different ways. But before we graph three different ways, we need to do the first part, which is write an equation. So let's think back. Right before we went to break, I said, whenever you see that they're asking for you to write an equation, what is the first thing we write on paper? Talk it over to your neighbor, please. All right, let's see. How about Leslie? What do we write first? Y equals mx plus b. That is correct. That's our slope-intercept form. Write that down. That's the first thing we do. Why do we do that? Because that's what we need in order for us to guide ourselves to write our equation. So what information do we need from here? We need a slope and the y-intercept. However, let's look at the information that they give us. They only give us 2 points. Therefore, to continue in me writing an equation, given 2 points, tell your neighbor what would be the very next thing that we do, please. Alright. Okay, we got it? Okay, go ahead, Emma. Go. M equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. That is correct. We're going to find the slope first. From there, you write m equals blank minus and minus. If you're not writing those minuses, you're going to make a mistake. Remember that? Before we fill in the information, what else do we need to do? We need to label our points. This is what? X sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2. Caesar, focus. Now that we're there, let's start filling in our information. What is y sub 2? 6. That goes right there. What is y sub 1? 2. Goes right there. Next, what is x sub 2? 1. It goes right there. And what is x sub 1? 3. It goes right there. Okay, now that we have that, let's see what we got. What is 6 minus 2? 4. What is 1 minus 3? Negative 2. Therefore, m equals, what is 4 divided by negative 2? Negative 2. Well, right now we don't write it in fraction form because we're not graphing yet. We're still writing the equation. So, in our form here, what do I write underneath the m? Negative 2, because I get it from here, yes? What else do I need to write my equation? The b. The b, right? But do we have a y-intercept? No. Tell your neighbor what to do from here. What do we do from there? All right. Tanner, what do you do? Pick one of the coordinates. Which one do you want to use, the first or the second? All right, let's go over the second. So instead of x, what do we write? If I use the second one, what is x? 1, and y becomes what? 6. And I bring everything else down. Equal plus b. Let's solve. 6 equals negative 2 plus b. What is our last step? Plus 2 plus 2. 8 equals b. Do we have enough information now to write our equation? Yes. Therefore, let's see. Maya, can you read me the equation given now that information? What would be our equation? Hands, have you got that? That is correct. Since we're not graphing up to right now, we're up to there. Is that correct? All right. So we're done with part 1, which is what? Write the equation. We're done with that. What's our next step? Graph 3 different ways. So I want you to get the big graph in front of you, the big coordinate plane. And on the top left, I want you to copy this equation, please. The big graph, yes. On the top left, copy this equation. Y equals negative 2x plus 8. Y equals negative 2x plus 8. All right? I said on the big coordinate plane, top left. All right, here we go. Ready? Guys, focus, please. The first method that we're going to use is the last one we learned, which was the easiest one that we thought to graph. Given that equation, look at it. Where do I start to graph this equation? Talk it over to your neighbor, please. Everyone. Positive 8. That is correct. So at positive 8 of y, we look at the y, and it's right there. I'm going to do this in red. If you have your red pen, do it in red. So the first method is using the y-intercept. What else do we need? Everyone. The slope. What is our slope here? Negative 2 over 1. So that means I take 2 steps down, 1 to the right, plot my point, do it again. 2 steps down, 1 to the right, plot my point, do it again. 2 steps down, 1 to the right, plot my point, do it again. 2 steps down, 1 to the right, plot my point, graph my line. And I'm doing this in red. And there it is. Okay? Now, so that we understand which method we used, right here on the same graph, here inside the graph, I'm going to put first method. It's called the slope intercept form. Using the slope intercept form. That's what was called what we just did right now. Okay, turn your graph paper over. On the top left, write the equation again. Yeah, the same equation, because we're doing it 3 different ways, right? Yes, top left, please. Let me get this out of the way. This out of the way. This out of the way. And this out of the way. All right. So on the top left of one of the small coordinate planes, on the top left, you wrote the equation again. Now we're going to use a second method of graphing. Let's see. Let me take you back to the beginning or the middle of the second quarter. Okay, let me take you to the beginning or the middle of the second quarter, when we started graphing functions and 2 variable equations. What was the method that we used to start graphing? Talk it over with your neighbor. What was the method that we used to start graphing? No, that was solving 1 variable equation. We're talking about 2 variable equations. What did we do to graph? All right, here we go. I'm going to use the second method, and I'm going to do this in blue. For those of you that forgot, method number 2, using a table. X, Y. What values did I ask you to use for X? -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. That's the second method. I mean, that's a second method, but this was the actual first one that I showed you how to do, right? So let's see. So I write my equation. You're doing this on the left side of the coordinate plane, right? So here we go. I'm going to write my equation, y equals -2 parentheses plus 8. What is the first value that I substitute in there, Armando? Very good, -2. What a save. Y equals 4 plus 8, which is 12. That goes there. Stay focused, please. Just letting you know, second semester is going to go so fast. I'm telling you, we're gonna be in the middle of systems of equations by Friday. You're having your first pop parte. Well, aside from the home play that you turned in, one of them counted as a pop parte. All right, you'll see. All right, next one. Here we go. Y equals -2 parentheses plus 8. What's my next value, everyone? -1. That is correct. So this is y equals 2 plus 8, which is 10. That goes right there. Next one. Y equals -2 parentheses plus 8. What's my next value? 0. Y equals 0 plus 8, which is 8. Now, do we need to show the work for the last two? No. Tell your neighbor why not. Because we already did the work and we already found a pattern. Tell your neighbor the last two values, please. 6 and 4. That is correct. 6 and 4. Now that we have that, once again, I'm doing this in blue. Let's plot our points. -2, 12. -2, 12. -1, 10. 0, 8. 1, 6. And 2, 4. And me, I'm going to use the same one on my screen because like that I can keep everything together. but so that also you see that it's going to give me the same graph. Does that look like the same graph? Tell your neighbor why I got the same graph. Everyone, because it's the same what? The same equation. We're using the same equation, just different method. Okay? So this, what was this method called? Using what? A table. What was the first one called? Slope-intercept form. Okay? Now, I want you to go to the top right corner of that same graph paper. No, you're on the second small one, right? Copy the equation again. This equation, copy it again. On the top right. And me, I'm going to do the work here. And I'm going to use the third method. And I'm going to write my equation, y equals negative 2x plus 8. Now, who remembers the other method of graphing? Think about it. That is correct. Tanner in the house from the corner. He said, when you cover it, that is correct. That's called the cover-up method. So from far away, you take your thumb. I want you to cover up the x. So if we cover up the x, look up. What do we have left? Y equals 8. And what do we write for that? 0, 8, which is my what? Y intercept. You guys remember that? Next, now we cover up, instead of the x, what do we cover up next? The y. I'm going to do that in black so you guys can see the difference. So what do we see on this side? 0. And what's on this side? Negative 2x plus 8. Do we know how to solve this? Yes. What do I do? Minus 8 minus 8. We're left with negative 8 equals negative 2x. Divide by negative 2. Divide by negative 2. 4 equals x. What does that mean? 4, 0, which is my what? X-intercept. And to plot, we only need those 2 points, the y-intercept and the x-intercept. So what is my x-intercept? 4, 0, which is right there. What is my y-intercept? 0, 8, which is right there. And I graph my line. I'm going to do that in green. And what do you guys notice? It's the same line. Tell your neighbor why it's the same line. It's the same equation, just different methods of graphing it. How many different methods do we have? 3. Slope-intercept form, using a table, and cover-up method, or using the x and y intercept. Did it come back? Yes? All right. So, for tonight's home play, you're only going to have 5 problems. Okay? And graphing in how many different ways? Let's go. Copy this, please. Copy the home play. It says, write a slope-intercept form equation for the line given the slope that contains the given points. Then graph the equation 3 different ways. Do we know how to do those already? Yes. Copy that, please. All right, guys, so that's the home play for tonight. Enjoy your home play. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.